Hey guys, it's Jen with JCT Rustic Homestead, and I am so sorry I haven't done a video in a really long time, but who knew that a blog, a YouTube channel, and a life, and everything else would take up so much time. So I am back, and mostly because of our farm fresh eggs. And those of you that know me know that I have problems when it comes to boiling eggs, and I've tried like everything, and the only thing that has worked for me is my mom's little egg cooker thing, which I talked about in our potato salad video. But since then we have added chickens. If you haven't been following the blog or our Facebook channel or whatever else we have going on, we have chickens. My dad got chickens. It was crazy. I think I might have done videos on them. It's been so long I can't remember. Sorry. But I wanted to do a video about boiling eggs because everybody gives me suggestions of how they boil them, and that's fine. It works for them, and I'm not saying anything against that, but that doesn't work for me. They say add salt, add baking soda, cook them this long, turn them on boiling, put the lid on, and 900 other ways to do it, and I just can't do it. I've tried. And then of course there's the I can't even say what old wives' tale, because people have probably followed it for a century or something, of make sure you have older eggs. I've tried that. Like, people, the average egg in the store is like 45 or more days old already, and then it sits in your fridge for another 2 weeks. That's an old egg. And we don't have those old eggs anymore. We have farm fresh butt nuggets. Sorry, I like saying that, farm fresh butt nuggets. So, I'm going to show you how I've been boiling eggs, and if I can figure out how to flip this over. I don't know if I can. Hang on. Okay, apparently I have to do it while I stop, so hopefully I can edit everything together. These are some of our farm fresh eggs. They were literally laid this morning. My dad collected some, I collected some. They have been in the refrigerator for a while. Actually, this one might still be warm. Nope, psych. But they were laid this morning. No joke. And I am going to hard boil them. And some people say it can't be done. I'm hoping it can be, because I've taken eggs that are a couple days old and boiled them and peeled them just fine. And we'll see if my technique that I have finally mastered works. So this is my little egg cooker, and the reason why you're on the stove is because it's the best light. But this is my little egg cooker. It comes in, let's see, what's it called? Ambiano egg cooker. Somebody gave this to me, and I am forever grateful. And the last one I had a little chicken, and my mom has that one. We swapped because I was having issues with them being done enough, but I think it was me. I don't think it was the cooker. But I can link to an Amazon thing, or if I forget, just post a comment, email me or something. But this is an Ambiano egg cooker, and when you get it, you know, the lid is on there because the little tabby things, and then it comes off. Sorry, I realize that since I'm doing this on my phone, it's gonna look weird long ways, so I should probably start over, but I'm too lazy. So, inside you have this container, and you fill if you want soft, medium, or hard. Hopefully you can see that. Hard boiled eggs. And then there's something on the back side. Omelet or poached. I'd have to read the directions for what all that means. This is probably for like poached eggs or whatever, and this is probably for the omelet. I've never used either of those pieces. This is what you put the hard boil, or you put the eggs into, and I already put water in there, so you fill this. I want hard boiled eggs. So I filled the water here, I poured it in here, and I just wanted to show you all the pieces as I opened it. And since I am a woman of one today, and the dog, I'm gonna do this one-handed. Maybe I might have to put you down. So that little thing goes in there, and it locks in place. Maybe here, you can look at the little cooker. So it locks in place, so you can lift it up and out if you need to. And as you can see, I've used this, it kind of scalded with the heating element there. Okay, now also with this one, and not all of these are the same, but so this is just mine. On inside, there's this little cap, and then there's a little pricker thing. And you prick that into the large end of the egg. And sometimes our eggs are really hard to tell, like this one, which end is big and which end isn't. And I'm thinking this is the big end. Let's see if there's another one. No, that one's pretty regular. Most of these are pretty regular because I took the small ones. Because I've gotten our normal sized egg. That was a new customer was asking me questions about getting an order of eggs, and they were like, are they real small? Because I think she was gonna say the last time she got farm eggs, they were really small. No, I have a hard time closing the carton sometimes. This one's a little worn. And there were a couple times I went to do hard-boiled eggs. I couldn't even get the lid on because they filled it up so much, so high. But anyway, you poke this into the, if you can find the bigger end of the egg, and then you put it, so pretend I poked it because I need 2 hands to do it, and then you set it in here. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then I'll bring you right back. Okay, so you can kind of see the pricks, and it doesn't have to be like dead center on the large end, but you know, you need a, and I think that's because there's usually that little bit of a pocket in an egg, and when I peel these, I'll show you one of the things that makes an egg look fresh, or that you can tell if an egg is fresh or not. Hopefully I'll remember, but there's that little pocket that you get in there, and I think that's why you put the hole on this end. So here's my eggs. I gotta kind of put them towards the inside if I can. I'm just kind of like bringing them to center because I gotta put the lid on. And yeah, this lid is like tight. It's hitting all these, and that's not because it's not big enough for 6 eggs. It's because my eggs are so big. Our chickens are like laying these goose eggs. I'm serious. They're just stupid big, and we get a lot of double yolks. I don't know why. So once you have this, you have your water in here, you have your eggs pricked and 6 in there. You push this button, and it automatically knows how long to go. There is a hole up here, so if you have kids, there will be really hot steam coming out of that. Unless you have responsible kids, I wouldn't let them mess with this too much. It is pretty, like, hurt. It can hurt. Give them a nice big hole in their finger or hand or whatever, or their brother's hand when they chuck it at them. But anyway, do keep them away from that hole. And there is a heating element in here, so just make sure you have responsible kids. Anyway, we're gonna let this go. It knows when to shut off, and it stuns this annoying loud beep. And when that happens, we'll bring you right back. Okay, so the timer thing went off, the light was off. There's a little bit of a burning smell, but that's because, you know, the water all evaporated with the steam, and then the element was still running. But it's like a hot pan on the stove that the water boils out. And of course at take 1, I didn't hit record, so you didn't get to hear the annoying beep. Anyway, you can see the condensation in there from the steam. Usually you open this up, take your eggs out. What I have found that I have to do for me and this house and humidity and everything, and it could be different from your house, I leave them like this, and then they sit in that hot atmosphere and cook a little more, because I was having issues with the centers not being quite done enough for me. So I read something where you leave them in there for a while longer, and I did that and it worked. So, you know, it might have been like 10-12 minutes before the buzzer went off, and then I'll leave them in there for a while longer. I'll go do something, and when I remember, I'll come back and take them out of the cooker. And then the other thing I do is I put them in a bowl, and I put them in the coldest part of the refrigerator. And what that does is, you know how an egg is. There's the shell, and then there's a little membrane around there that's sometimes really hard to peel, and then there's the egg. and when you put them from the hot atmosphere into the cold part of the refrigerator. You could probably put them in the freezer. You could also put them in an ice bath. A bowl with ice, like lots of ice, and then dunk them in there. You're shocking the egg. The shell is mostly stable. Atomically, it might have a little bit of a give to it, but the inside of the egg is what's going to react. It's going to go whoosh. And so the outside of the egg is going to be the same. If you think of this cooker as the outside of the egg, and then the inside is just going to go shrink away with that shock of cold. And that's what helps make your eggs easier to peel. So we're going to leave this puppy for a little bit longer, and I'm going to go do something else for a while, and then we'll bring you back again. Okay, so these have been sitting for maybe like 10 minutes or something, maybe 15. Sometimes I'll forget about them, and they'll be fine. They'll just cook, kind of steam themselves a little longer. So to unlock it, you just twist it a little bit. And then these are still like hot. So sometimes I'll take a couple spoons and like chopstick them kind of in there, but doing it one-handed with my phone just probably isn't gonna, well, maybe we can. Yeah, see? Just kind of handle them in there. And if they crack, like this one was a little cracked, I don't know if you can really tell, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I've even cracked them a little bit when I poke the holes, and they'll, depending on the egg, sometimes they'll bubble up. Sometimes they won't. If they're horribly cracked, I won't cook them, and see, like this one might have cracked a little bit towards the top up there. And then, like, you can see where the water burned at the bottom. So I'll clean that out, and I'm gonna do several batches. So I'm gonna throw these in the coldest part of the fridge, or you could do an ice bath. I'm gonna clean this out, put more water in, poke my eggs, and do it all over again. And like I said, these were laid this morning. I only have a dozen of them, and I'm gonna do more than a dozen boiled eggs because my dad likes boiled eggs. So I think I'm gonna do some for him, and then I'll have some for snacks or breakfast or whatever next week at work. So next time you see them, we're gonna be peeling these puppies. Alright, so here goes. This is they were laid yesterday. I boiled like probably about 3 dozen or something. But these are the eggs that were laid the same day I boiled them. It's just the next day because they needed to cool. And there was a little bit on this one that boiled out, but it'll be fine, hopefully. We'll see how they peel. So I'm just gonna crack them. It's gonna make a lot of noise because I'm doing it on this porcelain thing. And then see how they peel. And there's a little bit that came off with the shell, but not a lot. This one's a little like a little patchy, but not too bad, all things considered. So let's try another one. And I just tap them to break them a little bit, and then I would. See, this is the air end that we punctured. This one is a little, once you break that membrane in there, they're not usually too bad. Just a little membrane on there. I like to peel off. And that one bubbled a little bit too, but it's still good. I dug a little deep on that one. Yeah, but this one is a little bit more difficult, but not too bad. Once I get under that membrane, it's not too bad. Oh, yep, I did take a bunch off there. But really, that's kind of unusual. I'm also trying to look at the camera, look at you, and it's not the greatest, but considering these were laid yesterday, I'm pretty pleased. And I'm not gonna turn them into fancy deviled eggs. I'm just gonna eat them for a snack at work or something. So, fresh laid eggs, hard boiled. We're gonna use that one as our, we're not gonna look at this stuff. Here, see, you can't even see it. So you guys be the judge. Can you hard boil farm fresh eggs? I think so. So check us out on jctrustichomestead.com. Sign up for the blog. We also now have an email newsletter, and thanks for joining us.